So good evening, everybody. My name is Carolyn Russ, and I am so happy that you guys are here. This is a fun call that we do. It's called the Healthy Living Revolution. It's a Zoom event because of what we're on the technology. And I'm going to be hosting tonight along with Terry Akbus, and she can tell you where she's from in New York, and Sandy Drissler, and we're hoping that Nancy Rogers will be on the call, and some other people that have great stories to share with you. We're here on a mission to inspire healthy living, and we want this to be relaxed and fun. There's nothing to buy or sign up for. This is just information and stories to help you, and you might even think of somebody else who needs to hear these stories or this information. So thanks for coming. Sit back and relax. And I forgot to mention Deb because she's our first one. She's our other host, Deb Corder. So you want to take it away, Deb?
Great. Thanks for being here, everyone. Being healthy today can be so challenging, right? We want to look good, feel good, and live a long time. But how do we do it? There's so much conflicting information, and diets are complicated and confusing. And that's where we come in. I'd like to introduce you to a movement called the Healthy Living Revolution. We're part of a community where we are taking our health back in ways that are simple, cost-effective, and fun. The goal of the Healthy Living Revolution, a little bit of noise there. The goal of the Healthy Living Revolution is to partner with families who want better health and help them make doable changes. And to do this, we have free resources, nutritional support, and an organization that makes it all possible. The team at the Healthy Living Revolution has created some excellent resources. We have cookbooks which are loaded with tasty, easy recipes, as well as short webinars on trending health topics. And for more information on any of this, you can ask the person who invited you for the link to the Healthy Living Revolution website. Nutrition is the foundation of our good health, and the most important source of nutrients is plants. We need to flood our bodies with fruits, vegetables, and berries. And they're not just good for you, they're so good that they could save your life. We're supposed to eat a wide variety of 9 to 13 servings every day, but almost no one does. Think about it. How many days in the past week have you eaten 9 to 13 servings of fruits, vegetables, and berries? Even the best eaters need help, and that's why we are so thankful for the nutritional support of Juice Plus. And my friend Terry's going to hop on and tell us a little bit about the science behind Juice Plus. Terry?
Thanks, Deb. Yes, people say, what is Juice Plus? Juice Plus is over 30 raw, vine-ripened whole foods. It's non-GMO, and it's I always have trouble with this, NSF certified to be free from contaminants. We like to call it a salad in capsule. So here's how it works. First, the fruits, vegetables, and berries are picked at peak ripeness. Now this is really important because most of the nutrients in produce develop in the last 48 to 72 hours of ripening. So the produce that we buy at the store has to be picked long before it's ripe and could not be nutrient dense. So store-bought produce does not have nearly the nutrient content that the produce in Juice Plus does. So the produce is then ground up using the entire whole food, peels, leaves, and seeds. Now this is important too because those parts of the foods contain a lot of nutrients. In an orange, for example, up to 80% of the vitamin C is found in the peel. Now I don't know about you, but I don't eat the peels when I eat oranges. So, I'm missing out on all that nutrition. So the mixture is then gently dried at low temperatures, keeping all the enzymes active, and put into capsules and chewables. So I'm just going to show you real quick. So this is a bottle of the berry blend. So these are our capsules. And we have the fruit blend, the vegetable blend, and then I'm going to show you another one in a little bit. So one of the things that I love about Juice Plus is that it's scientifically proven. It's the most researched nutritional product in the world. You can ask Siri after this call, and she will tell you that I'm not lying. We have at least 38 studies published in peer-reviewed medical journals. Some of these are done by top researchers in their field, in the world, and they're published in some of the premier medical journals. This is just awesome. The Juice Plus is not a food. It is a food. It's not a vitamin. So it has a food label. So I'm going to show you here. So this is a nutrition facts label. It's the same label that you would find on a bag of apples or carrots. It's not a supplement label. It also has no warnings, no warning label. It's safe for people of all ages, including pregnant and nursing mothers, medically fragile people, and it's even certified for professional athletes. There are no contraindications with any medications, and that is just amazing. And the other blend I was mentioning, so we now have a plant-based omega blend. Let's see if I can do this right. So the Juice Plus company found a way to skip the middle fish and go straight to the source of omega-3, the algae. So this product not only has omega-3, but all of the omegas, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, all from plants, and even the capsule shells are vegan. We also have a whole food protein shake called Complete. I'll show you these. So this is a vegan, gluten-free, high fiber, and it has a low glycemic load, which is so important with blood sugar levels. It's great for a quick breakfast, post-workout recovery. That's what I like to use it for, a healthy snack, and it comes in chocolate and vanilla, as I just showed you. And they're also complete bars, like a granola bar for delicious on-the-go nutrition. And finally, I can't show it to you right now, but we have an amazing way to grow your own produce called the Tower Garden. This is an aeroponic, hydroponic, vertical growing system that was developed by Tim Blank, who was the chief horticulturist at Epcot. Tower Garden produce is more nutritious than produce grown in traditional gardening. It grows faster, and it only uses 10% of the water and space. And you can grow year-round with grow lights in your house. So it's just another great way to get nutrition into your family. So that's, in a nutshell, in a capsule shell, what Juice Plus is. And I think right now I want to move on and hear some great stories about how Juice Plus has helped some of our friends here. So I'm going to ask Leslie to unmute herself, and she's driving, but she's still going to be able to tell us a really cool story. Leslie?
Hello. So my son Abel is 4 years old, and he has Williams syndrome, which goes along with heart issues, developmental delays, and a slew of other health issues. His nephrologist, well, first Terry introduced me to Juice Plus, and I was really skeptical at first. I didn't really understand what it was. It took me a long time to figure out it's just food, because Abel cannot have certain vitamins and things like that. But Abel's nephrologist told us that he needed to be put on blood pressure medicine, and I didn't want my 4-year-old on blood pressure medicine. So he told me he would be on this forever and that it was safe for him to be on. And so we put him on it, and Abel's diet is very bad. He doesn't eat very much. He has a lot of sensory issues. He's been in feeding therapy, trying to get better foods in him, and it's been a constant struggle. And so we put him on, we tried this, we put him on it, and after a very short time, his constipation went away, and then after 4 months of being on the Juice Plus, at the 4-month mark is when I realized that his blood pressures were getting so low that I was scared to give his medicine. So I called his doctor, and he was like, immediately we're going to start decreasing his medication. And then at the 5-month mark, they took him completely off, and I still monitor, which was this month, I still monitor his blood pressures, and everything, all of his blood pressures now are better now than they were when he was on the medication. So it's just been a complete turnaround for him. This is the same doctor that told him he's going to be on it for the rest of his life, and now he's like, oh, we got to take him off. And having a special needs kid is really challenging, And it's really hard as a parent trying to figure out what I can do to help him because there's so much that's out of my control. It's so hard to, jump through all the hoops and you do all the therapies, and when nothing's working, it's just not working, and all you can do is pray. But this was my loophole. This was my one thing that I could do for him, and I could get it in his little body, and he didn't have to eat it. I just put it in like medicine, and it's just been amazing. So I'm very thankful that Terry shared this with me. It's been a game changer for us.
Thank you, Leslie. Oh, give me chills every time I hear that story. So great. All right, so some more chills. Elizabeth.
So Juice Plus has helped me immensely in only a few short months. After years of struggling with multiple autoimmune diseases, a digestive disorder, postpartum hair loss, and fatigue, I'm feeling better than I ever thought possible after only 4.5 months on Juice Plus. It's also helped my children a lot. My 3.5-year-old is regular, he's happier, and he's also sleeping a lot better. When before he was a terrible sleeper, he didn't even nap. He didn't always sleep through the night, and it was really difficult to get him to fall asleep. So now he's much happier, and the whole house is. My 8-month-old has low muscle tone, and he's receiving physical and occupational therapy. And as I've been nursing, he's been getting this awesome nutrition through my milk as I'm taking Juice Plus. But now that I've introduced it into his diet for the last week, he's made a huge improvement. The therapists were just here today, and they were marveling at how well he's doing. And I really credit this to Juice Plus for him to make such a leap in 1 week, the same week that I started giving it to him. And I know that the nutrients is being carried throughout his body and to his muscles, improving his muscular function. So I'm just so grateful. It's helped my husband as well, who he works very hard and he tends to get run down or maybe even sick because of his demanding work schedule. So now he has not only more energy, but he's not getting sick and he's eating better. He doesn't want to just eat junk all the time. So he's becoming a clean eater right before my eyes, which is great. None of us have been sick this winter, and really we're just a pretty happy house over here. And we really owe all of this to Juice Plus, and we're just really grateful to the person who introduced it to us. So
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it over to Sandy.
Hey there. So I wanted to tell you guys our story. It starts almost 11 years ago when Joey was going to the Nicholas School, which is a special school for neurological development, and he was having seizures. He was actually having electrical shocks to his brain once per second, 24/7. So obviously this isn't a good thing. He was on a ketogenic diet for seizure control. He was, it was like wading through mud the way that he was thinking. And when I went to a wellness presentation at his school, they said about how they make Juice Plus and that they remove the sugars. And I said, whoa, wait a minute, what? Let me see the label on that. And I said, if you can get us the exact carbon protein information, I can calculate this into his meals. I was calculating his meals on a computer and weighing everything accurate to the 10th of a gram. You can imagine that was extremely time consuming and very labor intensive, and hours a day of work, and carrying Diastat wherever we went, which 10 milligrams of Valium and a rectal gel. Not fun, because his seizures would not stop on their own. So what I'm saying is this was a really serious condition that changed things and made things difficult for our entire family. But we introduced Juice Plus, and I saw a difference in him within weeks. And I'm a very skeptical person. You have to prove to me that something is valid. And I was like, nah, it can't be. There's no way. But that's the only thing that changed. Within 5 calories, he was the same every single day. So nothing had changed except for the Juice Plus. And I just saw him get brighter, and the light bulbs started coming on, and we were getting our sun back. And after we saw this incredible change in him, and it was unmistakable, and that's the only thing that we had changed, I asked Carolyn, I said, hey, is there a way to get this at a better price because I really want to put my whole family on this. I've seen what it's done for our son. I've seen the healing that's taken place in his brain. And if it can do that in a damaged brain, it can do that kind of healing in the rest of us too. I had struggled with every time I had a cold, I would get bronchitis. It would always settle in my chest. I had had bronchitis so many times. I would get strep often. I had asthma. I have since thrown away all of my inhalers. I do not get bronchitis after the cold anymore. I hardly get the cold anymore. And so it wasn't just Joey. But when we saw that kind of change, and I was like, yes, I want all of us taking this. And so Carolyn showed me the marketing plan. And I have 5 kids. I was homeschooling, one special needs, another with learning disabilities. I didn't need another thing to do. So I said, I'll have to ask my husband about this. My husband, smart man that he is, took a look at the marketing plan and said, I think you should do it. I said, you do? Are you kidding me? He said, yeah, you know you. If something works, you tell everybody. You may as well get paid for it. But the more I looked into the company, not just the product and the research behind it, which is amazing and totally floats my boat, but the more I looked into the company and saw that they're very ethical, the marketing plan is great, they want to be very fair, they want to do everything right, and they were real, they were giving back so much. I just thought, this is perfect. I would tell people about this even if I never got paid a dime. So I have absolutely loved it. And that's been for about 10 and a half years now. Oh, by the way, little update on Joey. The kid whose neurologist said that he would never have a normal EEG, you just don't clean up an EEG like that, has had 4 normal EEGs. He has his certificate in auto services. He went through Project Search. He has his high school diploma and is now working full-time and sometimes more than full-time at a job. So thank you, Juice Plus. And thanks, Carolyn, for introducing it. Carolyn, you have to unmute.
I've got it on a different view so that we can see everybody's faces better, and I couldn't find myself. Well, your all stories they just always amaze me. We do this all the time, and every time I hear the story, I'm still so touched and more touched that you guys are willing to share your story. So I thank you so much for that. And so I noticed that we have another person who was going to share their story tonight, and that's Nancy Rogers. She's been delivering babies all day today. But yeah, if everybody can mute themselves, if you're not already muted, that'd be great. And so she's always got Nancy's nutritional nuggets, but she also has a great story about her daughter. And I'm going to unmute and let her share that, and then I'll wrap it up in a minute.
All right. Hi, everyone. I literally just flew in here. So I really haven't rehearsed anything. So just so you know, we all just kind of talk from the heart and share from the heart. And I have a daughter, Brittany, that is 28 years old. She has Williams syndrome. We were introduced through Carolyn, who also has a daughter, as many of you know. And so it's been about 7 years that she's been taking Juice Plus. And initially, she was a white eater, did not like any textures, struggled with things like vegetables, most fruits she didn't like unless it was white. I called her my white eater. She liked bananas and potatoes and peanut butter and ice cream milk. And so she was constantly dripping and mucousy and ear infections and constipation and just behavioral things. She had a lot of anxieties. At age 13, we had to put her on blood pressure medicine, and she was doing the normal progression of disease that most Williams syndrome children progress through. And so, you know, when I discovered that we could really boost her nutrition with Juice Plus, I was intrigued. Did take me about 6 years of intrigue before I said yes. I just wanted to be sure and thoroughly research it. And, you know, sometimes it's just one more thing that you just didn't want to have to deal with. But the beauty of Juice Plus is the simplicity. And it is just fruits and vegetables, you know, juiced and dehydrated. And when you flood your body with that nutrition, it's just more powerful than any drug, because a drug will work in one specific area and then cause side effects in other areas. And no two people react the same to a drug, just like we don't know which nutrients you may be deficient in, because we don't go around with rickets and scurvy, we've kind of fixed that issue, but we go around nutritionally depleted, but there's no lab test really out there, very minimal B12, things like that. But so needless to say, once we started flooding her body with all that nutrition so that all her cells, all her DNA were getting the correct nutrient to keep it healthy and improve the health of that cell, she improved, just like all of us improve. But hers was like Joey, it was more impressive because they had such a deficit to begin with. And so over time, she was no longer needing blood pressure medicine. She no longer needed an anti-anxiety. And almost immediately, we got her off Miralax, and that had been since birth. And then her behavior blossomed. She became able to handle stress and the things that trigger her anxieties better. And she became, just a more pleasant child and sleeping better and just overall improvement in many areas. So, it won't hurt. You can rest assured you don't have to have the medical background like I have or someone else, because it's so safe. There's no, profile of risk. There's no warning labels. It's just nutrition that meets each individual's need on a customized basis, just made for them. Thank you.
Okay, my turn. So those are all great stories, and it's just a privilege to be a part of these people's lives. And for those of you that are with us this evening, we hope we get to be a part of your lives too in some way, whatever that looks like for you. I just appreciate everybody taking time to be with us this evening. There are a couple different kinds of people who have some needs and are looking for something. And some people are ready to take the next step. They want, maybe they just want the free resources of the healthy living revolution, or maybe they're ready to get started on Juice Plus and see what would happen if they change their nutritional status. For me, this was my hope in a capsule. I had been diagnosed with breast cancer 13 years ago. That's how this whole thing started. And like Sandy, if you know something's good, you're going to tell somebody about it, right? And it just kind of mushroomed. But it is the most affordable way to get massive amounts of nutrition into our body. So we're happy if anybody wants to learn more about the product. This is a quick overview. We're happy if somebody wants to learn what it takes to purchase the product. We're just happy you're here, right? And then some people want to earn some income. For me, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have an income. And so I didn't want our purchase of Juice Plus to come out of our family budget. And I wanted all of us to take it. So that's, like Sandy, that's how I got started. I just wanted to get our whole family started and get that discount. And then people noticed, and it just kind of, people wanted to know. People are hungry for health. And so it made me feel good that I was able to make a difference in the lives of others. And Juice Plus does some different things. We call that part of what we do the freedom revolution. And the freedom revolution can give people freedom, financial freedom, as much or as little as they need. Certainly some moms and dads can do mom and dad care instead of daycare if they want to. There are many hardworking professionals who they love what they do, but they want a little something else. They want a backup plan, and this can be that. College kids, they're great. They don't want to flip hamburgers. This is something, and they like to have meaning, and it can create their college, books and some tuition and gas for their cars, whatever they need it to do. And empty nesters, that's kind of sort of me, except I'll probably never be one because I have somebody special that lives at our house. And but you know, for us, this has given us a lot of opportunity to have additional income. My husband retires this week from corporate America. It has been a long, hard ride. Woo-hoo. And it's a pleasure for me to get to share that with you guys. And so this can fill in that gap to do fun stuff. I still want to do fun stuff with my grandkids, and I don't want to be on a tight budget. And so they send me a message and said, hey, do you want to go do this? And my answer is always, of course, right? So who do you know that might need to hear our stories, or might need to learn a little bit more of what we do and why we do it and how it could help them potentially? So after we're done, make sure you touch base with the person who invited you, and we'll get you the Healthy Living Revolution information. If there's, you know, any more information you need, you want to find out about pricing or any of that kind of stuff. We told you we're not trying to sell you something. We're just wanting to share with you the power of produce. And I didn't understand that. I thought I ate healthy because I didn't eat bologna on white bread. And that didn't serve me as well as it should have, because all I was doing was choosing what not to eat. So thank you so much, all of you, for your time. I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you guys would like to ask questions, we can do that. So let me do that.